I recently got the chance to watch Eli Roth's latest feature, Borderlands, and I thought it was pretty bad, actually. I don't think it was one of the worst movies that I've seen all year, but it was definitely a really fucking bad one. The story is about an infamous bounty hunter who forms an unexpected alliance with a ragtag team of misfits. Together, they battle alien monsters and dangerous bandits to uncover the explosive secrets of her home planet of Pandora. And if you couldn't tell by the sounds of that synopsis, the story in this movie is extremely generic. Director Eli Roth was clearly trying to go for a James Gunn-esque Guardians of the Galaxy kind of vibe, but his movie just lacks the same kind of style and flair and liveliness that is present in any James Gunn film. But to be fair to Eli Roth, it sounds like there was a lot of behind-the-scenes drama during the production of this film, so it's possible that Lionsgate could have stripped away his creative freedom sometime during the production process. But as someone who doesn't really care much for Roth's filmography to begin with, I can't imagine that his original vision for this movie would have been that much better. So regardless of what actually took place during production, as the film stands now, the plot is mind-numbingly bland, the characters are all flat and one-dimensional, the comedy is painfully unfunny, the production design isn't all that great, the cinematography is noticeably ugly, the visual effects aren't too special, the action is pretty forgettable, and the costumes all look like poorly made attempts at cosplay. The only good thing that Borderlands has going for it is that it does feature a really talented cast. I don't care what anyone has to say about the age of any of these actors, because every person starring in this film has proven to be a gifted performer. It's just a shame that nobody seemed particularly interested in being in this movie. I mean, Cate Blanchett is an awesome actress who recently gave an Oscar award-worthy performance in the feature film Tar, but I have no idea how she ended up starring in a movie like this, and I don't think that she really knows either. Jamie Lee Curtis did recently win an Oscar for her performance in Everything Everywhere All at Once, but her role in this film requires her to do nothing more than spout dull exposition. Kevin Hart isn't doing his usual Kevin Hart shtick, which I did appreciate since I do find his humor to be a little annoying, but I still think that he was terribly miscast as the straight man in the group. Jack Black is a comedian that I actually do enjoy, but it did feel like he was trying a little too hard to be funny in this film. Ariana Greenblatt has been starring in a lot of projects lately, and while she's clearly trying to have some fun with her role here, she isn't quite able to elevate the material that she was given. So my issues with the performances have less to do with the actors themselves and more to do with Roth's direction of them, because their talents are clearly being wasted here. I'm sure if they were in the hands of a much better director, the cast would be able to emulate the wild and kooky characters that Borderlands fans have come to know and love. But under the direction that they were given, they all seem to be devoid of any personality whatsoever. And even though I've never played any of the Borderlands games for myself, I'm sure this inexcusably dull film captures none of the creative chaos or action-packed hilarity that helped to popularize the games in the first place. So not only is Borderlands a bad video game adaptation, but it also happens to be a bad movie in its own right. This film lacks any sense of heart or suspense or style or substance, and that makes it one of the most bland, generic, and derivative films of the year. Sure, the movie didn't make me feel angry or upset or even downright miserable, but the movie didn't really make me feel anything at all. So watching Borderlands feels akin to watching an hour and 40 minutes of nothing. But I wouldn't argue with anyone who would describe that nothing as being superficial studio slop. And it's for that exact reason that Borderlands would not get a recommendation from me. But I appreciate anyone who took the time to hear my thoughts on this movie, so as always, thanks for watching.